Hi guys, I'm Nikki and welcome back to my channel. In this episode we will see a comparison between the controller that you find in the package of the Dji Air 2S and this, that is the Dji Rc Pro. Obviously this is a higher level controller, a pro level in fact. But what I'm interested in understanding is we really need a professional controller to drive our Dji Air 2S, and when this jewel really makes the difference. Let's try both of them.
Now let's do a classic range test. Let's start the aircraft and just make it go straight. I want to start with the RCN1 controller first and see how far the drone goes. I remind you guys that we are in Italy, so we have a CE transmission, so we are not in FCC mode. Right now I have speeded up the images because anyway the drone always goes straight. As you can see, the signal is quite strong, even though we have exceeded the kilometer away. Here, guys, the drone has just passed 1.5 kilometers away, and the signal is starting to get weaker and weaker. Now we have completely lost the signal from the drone, so the return to home mode is activated. Now the drone is coming back automatically. Well guys, this was the range test done with the RCN1 controller that you find in the package when you buy the drone. I always remember that this test is done in CE mode. Now let's see how the RC Pro controller behaves. We do the same thing as before and push the aircraft forward as much as possible. Before, at this point, with the RCN1, the drone began to lose the signal from the controller. As you can see, now the aircraft is going beyond 2 kilometers away, and the signal is still good. He also crossed the hill without any particular problems. Now we are close to 4 kilometers away and the signal begins to drop. Here guys, the drone has disconnected from the controller. and is starting the automatic return to home procedure. Although I'm no longer connected to the drone, the return to home is working. I'm really impressed by this gigantic difference in this range test between the two remote controls. However, I am convinced that there is no need to go so far with a drone for pleasant shooting.
Now I want to take a test of the so-called point of interest. That, moreover, is one of my favorite shots. So I want to turn the drone around that hill and understand if the signal transmission is stable or not.
Let's start with the RCN1 as before. To make things easier, I carry the drone at altitude, and I will use the automatic point of interest function. I select the tower and start the aircraft. Okay, now the drone is automatically spinning around the top of the hill. Let's see if he can make a full spin without losing the signal from the controller. As you can see, the drone is now on the opposite side of the controller and has lost the radio signal. Now the aircraft disconnected from the controller and started the return to home procedure. It's time to test the Dji Rc Pro. Let's see how the drone behaves with this controller. We do the same things as before and see if this time the aircraft manages to go all around the hill. I select the tower and let him go. As you can see, also with the Pro controller, the drone loses the signal when it is across the hill and the return to home begins. This is a small test done to show that for everyday flight, a remote controller like the Dji Rc Pro doesn't make a difference.
In conclusion, guys, we saw how the two radio controllers are different. Surely, this is a professional controller, and you can understand it by the responsiveness that the commands have and the fluidity of the whole system. But the question is, does it really make the difference? I mean, you need such a controller for everyday shooting, or the RCN1 is enough? Let me know in the comments below what do you think. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you want to support me and the channel, subscribe and drop a like to my videos.